Good, y'all. Surprise man today. Really quick, really swiftly. Move this up some. Really quick, really swiftly. Just wanted to talk about what happened last night on WWE Monday Night Raw. And what happened on WWE Monday Night Raw last night was indeed two things that were like big things that happened on the show. And it was CM Punk absolutely going off, getting in pipe bomb mode, going in on The Rock, going in on Cena, and was about to go in on Seth until he came out there. And Io Sky, shockingly to a lot of people. Now, and of course, there's people here and there, a few far in between that may have said that she was going to win, but did win, beat Rhea Ripley, and is so far officially slated to face, now that she's the Women's World Champion, slated to face Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. So those are the two things that happened, and now I'm going to go into what actually was said or what was done, how I led up to it or whatever. Here we go. So, it was Punk came out there, had game face on, he was ready to go. He just looked like he went in a good mood, man. He looked like he was ready to get done, go off. And we heard the static, the man, nigga, and the crowd is, yeah, it's Punk, yes sir, clobbering time and all that. There was no clobbering time, guys. This was not happy CM Punk. And that's the best CM Punk is when he got something to complain about. That's the best CM Punk. I say the same thing with The Miz. Like, when he has a gripe, something to complain about, usually that's when you're going to see the best version of him. But anyway, trying to get this mic to get, it should be about good. All right, anyway. But yeah, so, boom. Comes out there, game face on, and he basically called The Rock a bald fraud and said that he never has to wear a fake championship and claim that he's the people's champion, because instead he say, matter of fact, I don't got to do that because I earn it. And he said, and I'm not, and he was like, and you keep coming out here doing your, when he checks the little form and shows everybody the goosebumps and slaps the arm like that every time he does his entrance. He says that you get goosebumps and you pretend to care about this business. You do your bullshit and you go like that and you show those goosebumps and pretend to care about this business when you only basically care about yourself. And, I know, never liked Dwayne and all this type of stuff from, the stories they've told, like, 15 years ago almost, when, Rocket came back and all that type of stuff. So going back to that, from like, probably what, 12, 13 years ago? It's crazy how time go by. But anyway, bringing that stuff up and then saying with John Cena that, he called him a bald fraud too and said, I'm going to make a wish that you never did. You know what I'm saying? So the, Make-A-Wish Foundation, Cena has the most grand Make-A-Wishes, so it was a little play on words there. But, and he was basically saying, you guys are seeing what I saw all along, because John Cena say we can't see you. No, matter of fact, now since he sold his soul, we can see right through you. You know what I'm saying? So he was saying stuff like that, just saying different lines. And then he said with Seth, he was like, you're going to have to, Becky Lynch, for those who don't know, her thing is, her character is called The Man, and it makes her, tough, and she's a fighter and all this type of stuff. That's kind of the character going on. So she was like, Becky Lynch, you're going to have to get your man, because she's married to Seth Rollins. You're going to have to get your man before I have to. And when I get my hands on him, I'm going to put him in a wheelchair. So he was talking his trash on everybody, man. Pipe bomb Punk, man, was coming out here. He was dropping the bombs all right, man. But yeah, and then another thing, I'm just thinking of the lines I remember. He also said about The Rock that you think that just because, you're the boss, head of the TKO board, that you're immune to criticism. Well, you must not know who I am, you know what I'm saying? It's because CM Punk basically don't let up on nobody. But yeah, he was about to call out Seth. He said he was going to put him in a wheelchair. That's when we heard the burn it down. And the funniest thing somebody pointed out on social media. So when Seth the music plays, Punk kind of looks back. He's mad, and he jumps off the table and runs and goes to the entranceway where he knows Seth is coming. And the funny things that somebody pointed out on social media was Seth was doing his normal entrance where he's like, kind of maybe dancing a little bit. He's wearing his little outfit. crazy outfits that he wears. But the funny thing is, somebody said he was in normal mode. He wasn't even mad or upset or nothing. And Seth was in normal mode. But then once he saw Punk coming, he went from like this to, he went from going like, coming down the ring, maybe doing a little bit of dance. And then once he saw Punk, he was like, it was just so funny when somebody pointed out he wasn't even like running to get after Punk. Like, he came out there like he was doing his normal inches, but once he saw Punk coming, he threw them glasses off that he had on, and they started throwing the blows, man. They started punching each other. They started got done giving the show life, I tell you. So for like the first, I don't even know how many minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes of this show was Punk doing his thing on the microphone and beating the crap out of Seth, and Seth was beating the crap out of him, and they had people separating the crowd, had a holy shit chant, they had a let them fight chant, they had a this is awesome chant, all for one brawl. They had those three chants, and it was an electric way to start up the show. And then they were battling. Apparently, when the show went to commercial, they were still battling each other, fighting each other all across the arena. When we came back from break, they were still fighting. So started off the show pretty goddamn hot, and after Adam Pearce was tired of it, he couldn't handle it anymore. Eventually, he was walking in the back with Seth, where he announced next Monday, MSG. And, that's a big place for WWE, especially during the Vince days. That was, home for WWE as far as, like, that's their big, main territory there. So, and MSG, because of the crowd, because of the energy, they're always electric. But next week, Madison Square Garden, Monday Night Raw on Netflix, it is going to be CM Punk versus Seth Rollins 2. Because the first time we saw it was the Netflix debut. Rematch is in a steel cage. Now, some people are speculating that maybe this is how we get that reported triple threat that we were hearing about a couple of weeks ago between Roman, Seth, and Punk. Because, Seth took out, kayfabe-wise, in terms of, as it is a part of the show, not in real life, that Seth delivered that double stomp on the floor, took Roman Reigns out, and that's why we haven't seen him kayfabe-wise. And so that he could be coming back for a vengeance. Roman could get involved in that steel cage match. Maybe that's how we get a triple threat. Not completely sure. But, Punk has thrown shots at both guys. CM Punk and Roman Reigns. But it makes sense for them to do this match. And it makes sense why they're mad at each other. Because for those who don't know, Seth at Elimination Chamber costed Punk his chance to main event WrestleMania. When he had delivered a stomp onto the floor, like right outside the ring at the chamber. He stomped his head into that, mat, that floor. And thing was, Seth was already eliminated. So he came back after being eliminated. He came back, delivered that stomp to Seth. And I think on the social media, WWE social media, they had caught what Seth said. He was looking at the chamber, waiting for CM Punk to either tap out or pass out. And he was like, die. So it's freaking great, man. Their hatred for each other has some legitimacy to it. So it came across great on screen, So this is gonna be good. This is gonna be a great match. This Raw I would probably give like a 8.5 because of that shock factor we got at the end, which leads me right into what the main event was. So I'm just gonna talk about those two things because those are the main takeaways. You can watch the whole show. You know what I'm saying? But main event was Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky, which for the WWE Women's World Championship. And we all knew that this was going to be either a solid match or a good match. I thought it was a good match. I know they could take it to another level, so I'm not going to say great, but it was definitely a good match. I don't know about great because I feel like they could do, it's one of those, you look at it and go, they could do this was good, but we know they could do more. So, good match. We know they can do more. And you never know what may happen. And apparently we won't either know what doesn't always know. We don't always know what may happen because guess how this match ended? It was going good. It was going fine. Rhea was, I guess, talking some trash to Bianca because I think Rhea was like, I think I seen the little interview. She was saying like, Bianca was over here cheering her on as if we're not, cheering Io on to win the match or whatever. And she basically shoved Bianca and Bianca like shoved her back. And the ref saw this. Now, here's the thing. Rhea shoving Bianca is fine, right? Because she's in the match. She, maybe hit somebody. Okay, it's cool. But then when somebody hits you and you're involved in the match, like Bianca hit Rhea or pushed her, you would think any physical contact would be a DQ, but I guess we're playing it off like, oh, maybe the referee let it slide, maybe the referee was lenient, but yeah, it wasn't a DQ as I thought it was going to be. I thought that was maybe going to be Io's out, was that it got a DQ finish. But anyway, They didn't do that, so the referee let it slide, and then Rhea basically had all her attention, arguing with Bianca, and then she had Io set up on the top rope to do a top rope riptide where she has her in the pump handle position and is about to done do a slam off the top of the rope, and she said, I'll see you at WrestleMania, Bianca, and right when she's about to do it, Io countered to a Hurricane Rana, flipped her over with her both of her legs, flipped her head over, boom. Rhea lands on the mat, and then Io hits her moonsault. That beautiful backflip off the top rope, lands it freaking perfectly. And I'm thinking to myself, either this is going to be it, or this is going to be a really good near fall when I was watching it. And then turns out they said, nope, we're not going to, because it would have been a great near fall. Like, I really was believing that was the finish. That's why I thought, okay, they're going to make this a really good near fall, right? They said, oh, nah, F your near fall, man. We're making that the done finish, because when the referee was counting after that moonsault off the top, it was 1, 2, 3. No Rhea kicking out, no shoulder got up, no controversy, no questions about it. That was the end of the match, and we had a situation where the announcer got to say, and new women's world champion, WWE Women's World Champion. So it's Io Sky, and somebody pointed it out, and it's great to hear because Io's a fantastic wrestler. She is the first person to win both the women's belts since they have their new versions. Like, it used to be Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship, but then they redesigned the belts and named them the WWE Women's and Women's World Championship belts. She's the first one to win the newly designed belts with the newly designed names. She's the first one to win both. So that's really cool to see. She's a great wrestler. Great athlete, all that good stuff. But yeah, I will say, very shocking, very surprising. And I will say, I think the last thing I'm going to say is probably, I think this could potentially lead to a triple threat, which I don't know if I want to see. I kind of prefer just to see, not that it would be a bad match, but I just would prefer probably to just see the one-on-one matches. We haven't seen it before, and there's that story of, these are the biggest stars in the last 5 years of the women's division. These would be like the biggest stars they built in the last 5 years would be Bianca and Rhea. So I'm thinking either they're going to make this a triple threat and tie the story in that way. I would prefer to see a singles match, but either they're going to make it a triple threat, or, in all fairness, there's still time till Mania, so I could potentially see them doing maybe, not to say you should do this because you don't want to hot potato the belt, but technically, if we're going by a literal standpoint, she could technically, if they gave her the opportunity, win the title back from Io, and maybe they just had Io get this win so that she wouldn't seem like an afterthought, because everybody came into this thing, it's just a little throwaway. It's going to be a good match, but it's a throwaway match because we know we're going to get Rhea and Bianca because those are like the bigger stars, but they had Io win it, so it's almost kind of like, okay, are we going to make this a triple threat? And I can see them probably actually going with that because they probably want to have Io, because she is good at what she does, so I can see them wanting her to be involved in WrestleMania, and this is their way to get it. So one, it makes her not look like an afterthought, and two, there was the distraction focusing too much on Bianca, so it was a little more than just, Io just flat out beat her. She was distracted, she got ahead of us, she took her eye off the ball type of situation. But yeah, I could see it end up being a triple threat just because Triple H likes Io, and he wants to end because she is good at what she does. I could see him wanting to get her on the card somehow and make it a triple threat. Now the only problem I have with that is I feel like at Mania there should be maybe one triple threat, because when it starts to get like multiple triple threats, then it kind of just comes off like you're just trying to get everybody on Mania. That's my only thing is like when you make too many triple threats, it just makes it seem like you're trying to get everybody on the Mania, and so now you're gonna have a card filled with multi-person matches, and you don't want to have a card filled with multi-person matches. You want to have I'd say one at most. I say one at most. I guess since they have 2 nights, you could do one each, but it's like, okay, because we're already going, and people are speculating there's going to be a multi-man U.S. title match, multi-man Intercontinental Championship match for the men. So That's why I say I don't know about the triple threat, or if they're gonna do that, I hope they don't do too many of them because then it's gonna just be cards filled with multi-man matches because you're trying to get everybody on the card. But either way, like I said, get a show 8.5. You know what I'm saying? Because there was other good matches and stuff like that, and Jay even had a good promo, saying that what he said about Gunther because Gunther had choked him out. So Jay had a good promo there, basically saying you put me to sleep, but you woke up you woke up a beast, and that you say it's gonna be hell these next 10 weeks leading to Mania. Well, I'm a guy done. What did he say? I'm trying to think of the exact line he said. I think he was like, he said it was gonna be hell these next 10 weeks. Dang, I really want to know what he actually said. Hold on. I don't know what he said because it was a good freaking line. I want to do it fair, so uh, I gotta do it fair though. Hold on. I gotta get the quote up because I want to do him right. I was saying. Dang, trying to make sure I get it. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? Cause it was like walk through the. Yep, that was good too. Hold on. Yep. So he was talking about the fact that he doubted himself and that or everybody's doubting him and it almost starts to make him doubt himself and stuff like that. And when he's back against the wall, he's the only person that can pick himself up. So I'm trying to get to the line I'm looking for though. If you hear a little bit of it. Yep, there it was. Walk through the valley of shadows, death, and fear no evil. That's the line that hit right there. Know what I'm saying? And yeah, he said that, yeah, basically that he was going to basically, it was another way of saying he's going to goddamn defy the odds and all this type of stuff. And he knows that everybody's counting him out, but he going to goddamn fight through it. And I think we will see Jay win at Mania, but that's for the WrestleMania predictions. But he hit him with the one word, 4 letters, yeet. You know what I'm saying? So, that was fire. It was great, fired up promo. And I always said, Jay, when he's not so focused on saying yeet, can be a really good guy done. Or not could be, but is a really good guy done promo when the focus isn't solely on getting that word in there. He's fantastic. But anyway, at the end of the day, what can I say? It is what it is. What it's going to be. This project continuing to come out with a constant division of bangers. For those who don't know, I'm posting even though I got a little bit off schedule on Sunday, posting 2 videos a day, one in that kind of 11 to 12 o'clock time span, even though it's kind of over 12. So I guess you could say probably 11 to 2. That's probably a better core afternoon time, that 11 and 2 time, and then the nighttime videos are out probably that 6 to 8 time range. You know what I'm saying? So just for those who don't know that I'm doing that, so keep your goddamn notifications on, comment, subscribe before you get out of here, and that is the vibe that DJ's on, and I will see y'all in the next video, man. Peace.